Hey guys, how's it going and welcome to the Mina channel. So today we're going to talk about an interesting subject here. This is more of a discussion video than a predictions video. I recently did a Persona video dedicated talking about the predictions, the things that I see for future Persona games, but today we're just going to talk about the overall bigger picture. What's next from Persona? So far this year, if you guys didn't know, this is the 25th year anniversary for Persona. It's somewhere in September, and that means that we will probably get some more games announced. Now, so far Persona 5 has been doing stellarly good when it comes to sales and numbers. If you look at all the games that they've been selling and everything that has been pumping up from Persona and Atlas, has just been doing really good. At the same time, at the horizon, we also have a new hype wave of Shin Megami Tensei players, such as Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne and Shin Megami Tensei 5, which is coming out also this year as well. So overall, we just have all these other Atlas games besides Persona that are just kind of taking the spotlight in a lot of different sense. So I'm just curious to see what's next from Persona. So let's go ahead and jump right into this video here. I'll give you my 2 cents, what I think is going to happen next, and let me know in the comments below what do you guys think is going to happen next for the series. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So first of all, one of the biggest things, as I mentioned before, Persona 5 has been doing excellent. It's been selling really good numbers. The reason why I mention this is because I don't think they're gonna be done with Persona 5 for some time. I know Persona 6 is gonna be announced pretty soon-ish, probably next year or two. I did a whole video talking about that and why I don't think it's gonna be releasing soon, but it's probably gonna be announced soon enough. But at the same time, the hype and the sales numbers for Royals or even Persona 5 just in general, it just really speaks for itself. The games are selling great, people are enjoying the games, and needless to say, a lot of people are still just kind of playing all these games. So we are going to talk about some of the different spin-off series that they have at the moment, whether they could start a new spin-off series or whether they could just completely just sell a brand new game series, or if it's just gonna continue with the spin-offs that we have so far. So biggest thing is, obviously, we have the Persona Q games. The Persona Q games, which is already what you can see in the thumbnail, is one of the biggest probabilities here. A couple of different reasons. The main one being that the studio that works on these games haven't really talked much about what's next for their studio. In fact, if you look at the last game that they worked on was Persona Q2, and typically they make the Atrium Odyssey games. They're really good and a lot of people really enjoy those games. They do have a small following on the 3DS. However, now that the system has moved over to the Switch, it's really interesting to see whether they're going to be looking into making another Atrium Odyssey game or whether they're going to be making another Persona Q game. It's one of the biggest kind of interesting aspects of it. I personally feel like they will probably do it just because of the amount right now of like hype and things and everything. And obviously, if they want to make another Atrium Odyssey, I feel like they will try to do something that will really kind of like, well, let's make sure that the engine works on the Switch and everything like that, right? So what better test than a Persona game that is gonna sell anyway? So I feel like that's a really good possibility. Besides that, obviously we have all these other games like the dancing games, which obviously sold well, although I didn't think they were particularly good, but a lot of people do enjoy those games, and those games are really easy and fast to make. They don't really take a lot. I think the biggest thing for them to do in that aspect is really just the music itself, and I'm sure Shogi Meguro will be more than happy to make more music or remix your music if they're wanting to ask him or something. One of the other obviously series now that has been long forgotten at this point is the Arena games. You know, the Arena games were really good back on the PlayStation 3. They did 2 of them also on Xbox as well, oddly enough, but the developer of these games was not Atlas. It was actually one of my favorite old-time fighting developers, which is Arc System Studios. One of the things about them is Arc System is really big now, or it's really big for a lot of different things. It's big because of the success of the Dragon Ball Z games. They also have their success with the Cross Tag Battle. They have all these other fighting series right now. They're releasing a new Guilty Gear pretty soon. The point being is, I don't see another Arena coming anytime soon just because of the popularity of Arc Systems right now. It will be really hard for them to kind of be like, yo, what about this Persona game, when they are really working on one of the biggest franchises of all time, which is Dragon Ball Z. So Honestly, I will say at this point we need to forget about that. That being said, I doesn't mean that the storylines may be gone. My biggest bet for everything is they're probably gonna make another Strikers. Strikers did really good both in the West and in Japan. But whether it's the Switch version or the PlayStation version or the Steam version, which did surprisingly well. But not only are we talking about spin-offs, but we also need to talk about the biggest elephant in the room. When we just talked about the survey a few days ago that was done, one of the things that they really talked about a lot about was remakes and remasters, which that's pretty much one of the biggest things that I'll say. Like, I feel like that's the next step for Persona. It's not really making more Persona games, but just porting those games over to other systems. I really feel that after the success of both Nocturne and Persona 4 Golden, as well as other games that we had on the port over like Catherine, I really feel like they're gonna be starting to port more games over, whether it's Persona 1, 2, 3, maybe a collection system. I don't know. There's just all these different possibilities. We're still not even talking about all the Shin Megami Tensei and Megaten collection that they have. There's so many possibilities with that. But one, just taking in consideration of the fact that they did ask if people were interested into more spin-offs, or I'm sorry, not spin-offs, more remakes or remasters, that really does seem to point out that they are really looking into doing more of those. One, there's a lot of reasons for that. One is it's a lot cheaper to remaster or re-update a game than actually just making a brand new game. It's like a lot easier. And the other thing is, these games already have a fanfare, so they don't really have to market as much. In fact, whenever Persona 4 Golden came out to Steam, there was no marketing whatsoever. They really just dropped the game here and there. They just literally dropped the game. The game sold super well. So I feel like in that end, there's just so much good stuff about doing just remakes or ports. It's just a lot easier too for them as well. And that end, they can focus more on bigger games like Persona 6 or Shin Megami Tensei 5, so those games can come out and do good and everything like that. So anyway, that is pretty much in this discussion video here today, just talking about my thoughts on what's next for Persona, what's next for Atlus in general, really. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time.